I even suggest you can say, why is this happening to me? A lot of spiritual gurus say don't say that. I say that still. I'll be like, why is this happening to me? And then right after I'll be like, okay, what is it that I need to learn from this experience? And then I look for the lesson. So find a way to... Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Lightworker community. So the title of this video for today is You Cannot Make a Wrong Decision in Life. So I know that sounds like a pretty wild concept, and I know a lot of people would not agree with me on this, but this is just a lesson that I learned a few years ago and one of the principles of how I live my life. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. First off, before we get started, I wanted to share a quote that I found and that I had used with one of my pictures on Instagram the other day, and it just goes perfectly with this. So this quote is by Deepak Chopra, and he says, "If you obsess over whether you are making the right decision, you are basically assuming that the universe will reward you for one thing and punish you for another. The universe has no fixed agenda. Once you make any decision, it works around that decision. There is no right or wrong, only a series of possibilities that shift with each thought, feeling, and action that you experience. If this sounds too mystical, refer again to the body. Every significant vital sign, body temperature, heart rate, oxygen consumption, hormone level, brain activity, and so on, alters the moment you decide to do anything. Decisions are signals telling your body, mind, and environment to move in a certain direction." So I thought this was a great synchronicity because as I was thinking about this topic, I had found this quote because I like to put spiritual, enlightening quotes with any of my nature photos that I post to Instagram. So I used to be somebody who overanalyzed everything. It seemed like every little decision. I was a perfectionist. I was so afraid of making a mistake or being wrong or making the wrong decision. And this drove me nuts back in the day. And eventually, somehow, I came to the conclusion that you can't make the wrong decision in life. And the reason I say that, because I had made another video titled "The Universe is the Ultimate School." So if you haven't seen that, go check that one out after this video. I'll link it above. But basically in that video, I'm saying that the universe is a school where we come down here to learn. It's like a playground for us to come and figure things out and to expand our consciousness and to just learn from everybody that we come across, from our friends, from our family, from school. Everyone is a teacher and everyone is a student. So in that case, that means that everything that we do in life, every decision that we make, every action we take, it is something that is also teaching us a lesson about ourselves, about what we want, about what we don't want. And we can get so caught up on, am I doing the right thing? Should I do this or should I do that? And it can just drive us crazy sometimes. For example, let's say that someone grows up in a family where they want them to be a doctor, but they don't want to be a doctor, they want to be a dancer. And their family, their parents totally do not support that decision at all. And they have determined that that child is going to go to medical school and they're going to be a doctor no matter what. So the two decisions there would be the child can go be a doctor and hate it basically, or just not like it, not resonate with it, and then feel very down and depressed because they didn't pursue that dream of dancing, especially if they had an opportunity to. Or they could choose not to be a doctor and to become a dancer, and then their parents could basically disown them or just be very disappointed and throw it in their face over and over again, especially if they struggle for a while and maybe having trouble making ends meet. The work just isn't very consistent for them. So either way, neither of those decisions were wrong because everything happens the way that it's supposed to happen, and everything happens for a reason. So maybe they became a doctor and they realized that I really have to live for myself. I don't want to live for other people and what their expectations of me, even if it is my family, and that I just got to go for what I really want. And it helps them build confidence later on once they kind of hit that breaking point of I can't do this anymore. Or it could also be that they end up meeting people in their job field that really help them in some sort of way in their life, maybe teaching them lessons that they need to learn. Maybe they have connections in the dance business and they go that way, or they get that knowledge and they're able to become a doctor and make a lot of money, and they're able to start their own dance school or something like that. There's just so many possibilities, and if you start to think of life that way, I think it makes it so much easier to deal with things if they don't exactly pan out the way we want. Like, let's say you start a business and it fails. We'll just say fail. I don't believe in failing in a sense. And it goes under, or you go bankrupt, or you have to close it down for some reason. But then you learn all of this knowledge about how to run a business. And maybe you've learned how not to run a business as well. So you can carry on with another venture and you take those skills and techniques that you learned that were working in the business and then change the ones that weren't working and apply it all to this new business. There are lots of people who have multiple businesses that have gone under, and then multiple businesses that maybe have succeeded as well. And fail just means first attempt and learning. So it's all a learning experience. It's all there to teach us something. There's no relationship, there's no job, there's nothing in our lives that was just for nothing, that was just there to just create misery for us. There is always something good that comes out of what we perceive as bad. We just have to actually find out what it is. A mistake isn't a mistake if you've learned from it. If you do something and realize that wasn't cool of me to do, or that's something I don't like to do, then you've learned something and it's not a mistake, and then you can change things from there. But if you don't learn anything, if you don't get anything from it, and you just dwell on, oh, that was so terrible, why did I do that? I shouldn't have started that business, I shouldn't have dated that person, then it's easy to become depressed and kind of live in the past and not be able to see the new opportunities that are in the background because we're so focused on what we consider as failure and mistakes. I also want to say that I'm not saying YOLO and just do whatever you want and participate in some high risk activities. Like, I'm just going to go try a bunch of hardcore drugs like cocaine and heroin and meth, or I'm gonna join a gang or anything like that. I'm not saying that you should do that. And I don't believe that we only live once. I think we have many lifetimes. YOLO does not apply at all to what I'm saying. But I do think that people should think about their choices. I think they should weigh the pros and cons. I think they should ultimately go with their intuition and take a risk sometimes if it feels like that's something that your heart is drawn to and your soul is just like, I gotta try this, I gotta do this at least once, because I'm always going to look back and be like, what if? And I also want to add that it's okay to be upset if something doesn't work out. It's okay to cry if you break up with someone or someone breaks up with you. It's okay to be upset if your business goes under or something doesn't work out the way you want it to work out. I'm not saying just like if something bad happens or something negative happens to be just like, oh, it's all good, you know, like I'm just going to be positive and grateful and everything's going to be fine. Hopefully you can get to that point. So instead of just setting up shop in the I'm a failure, everything failed, life sucks, why did I do that? Instead of just like setting up shop there, you can have those thoughts. It's okay. You can allow yourself to be upset, to get mad, to scream, whatever it is. You can get angry. Feel those emotions, because if you don't feel those emotions and you suppress them, that is where depression comes from, is suppression. So you don't want to deny or suppress any negative emotions. That's fine to have. It's just to remember in the back of your mind that this is happening the way it's supposed to, and that everything is always working out for you even when it doesn't seem like it. Everything is always working out for your highest good. The universe, God, they don't have it in for you if something goes awry. I even suggest you can say, why is this happening to me? A lot of spiritual gurus say don't say that. I say that still. I'll be like, why is this happening to me? And then right after I'll be like, okay, what is it that I need to learn from this experience? and then I look for the lesson. And the lesson is not a punishment. It's just a, oh, okay, well, if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have learned that sort of thing. That's all I mean when I say lesson. That's all I have for today. I hope this video was somewhat helpful, maybe gave you a different perspective on how you make your decisions and how to still look at the bright side even when it looks dark. Until next time, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!